In the beginning of 2025, I felt motivated, energetic, and quite honestly hopeful that we are finally at the tail end of all of this chaos in the software engineering field. And oh boy, was I dead wrong. I hear it from you all, I see it in the comment section. My own friends have been impacted by all of the chaos in the market right now. So in today's video, I'm giving my top 3 things to survive this crazy market, weather this storm. And these aren't the update your LinkedIn profile type tips. No, these are real strategical things that you can implement today. And these are 3 things that I'm personally telling everyone I coach, all the folks I mentor, and all of the developers that I lead on a weekly basis. So let's dive in. My first tip, and quite frankly, probably the most powerful one, is to master and dive in to the micro niche. And I'm not talking about calling yourself a backend developer or saying that you know the latest Next.js framework. Those are far too broad anymore. You see, years ago when I was hiring, I was looking for that well-rounded engineer that knew little bits and everything. But today, quite honestly, that generalist approach is just dead. And maybe you're asking why. Well, here's the answer. Many companies can take a junior developer, give them a little bit of guidance and ChatGPT, and honestly, they'll get the job done. And on the flip side, you hear many companies talking about how they are so desperate for a senior engineer, and I just don't think they're finishing their sentence. You see, I think a lot of companies right now are desperate for senior engineers, but senior engineers of 1%. Not a senior engineer that knows all of backend and all of front end and oh, they can deploy Kubernetes with Terraform too. Not that. These are senior engineers that are senior in 1%. The way that I see it, companies these days need specialists. Someone who has dove so darn deep that they are the expert of something super small. And let me give you a real world example. On my corporate 9-to-5, literally right now, we are integrating Keycloak. I know, enterprise, right? But we are integrating Keycloak with X509 certificates for authentication on our front end. And to the commercial world, maybe this seems crazy, but for the huge enterprise corporate world, this is pretty normal. But setting up Keycloak, and especially with X509, honestly, is a huge pain in the butt. And this is what I mean by the micro niche. You see, if you have a resume where you came in and said, I am an expert with Keycloak, oh, and on top of that, I intimately know X509 certificates, I know the roadmap around it, I know the ins and outs, I know the pitfalls. Take my money now, because your resume is going to the top of my stack. And the point that I'm trying to make here is find the tool, the process, or the integration point where you can dive so ungodly deep. Stop spreading so wide. Stop learning 18 different frameworks. Stop learning 6 different languages. If you want to stand out in today's technical world and have a job for the foreseeable future, become an expert at something so small where you are the go-to person. And speaking of developing specialized skills, that is exactly where today's sponsor Brilliant comes in. Honestly, with the most perfect timing. You see, Brilliant helps you get smarter every day. With thousands of interactive lessons in math, in science, in programming, data analysis, and AI. And what makes Brilliant such an absolute game changer is their uniquely effective approach on learning. I don't know about y'all, but me personally, Andrew Peacock, I really struggle just watching online courses. And this is where Brilliant comes in. Not only do they have a catalog of thousands of courses, but each lesson is full of hands-on problem solving where you actually get to play and engineer with the different concepts. And look, we're engineers. We tinker. We pull things apart just to see how they work on the inside and learn how to put them back together. And just like engineering, this hands-on approach way to learning is proven to be 6 times more effective than just watching online courses. Plus, all content on Brilliant is crafted by an award-winning team of teachers, researchers, and professionals from Stanford, MIT, Caltech, Microsoft, Google, and so many more. One thing in particular that I'm personally loving on Brilliant is all of their courses on data analysis. I didn't go to school to become a data scientist, yet every single day I work with incredible data engineers that honestly just continue to blow my mind. So the data courses are perfect for absolute beginners and quite honestly for learners of any level. And they come at you with a full suite of content covering data visualizations, algorithms, regression models, and more. And I get it. Some of you are like, hey Andrew, cool. How do I have time to fit all of this learning into my daily schedule? Well, have no fear because they have you covered there too. Brilliant's app makes it easy to learn anywhere right on your phone. And let me tell you, this has to be one of my favorite parts. As a parent of young children and someone who wants to constantly level up their career, it is so amazing being able to get micro learning sessions on my phone rather than just scrolling somewhere else. So to try Brilliant for free, head over to brilliant.org/Andrew Peacock, or you can check the top link down in the description below. And on top of all that, this will give you 20% off their annual premium subscription. So thank you so much, Brilliant, for sponsoring today's video. My second survival tip is what I'm calling the coffee chat strategy. And this whole concept is all about bypassing the traditional way that you can get in the front door, the traditional application process. Look, think of any engineer in your life or your friends' engineers or whatever they may be. I am willing to guarantee that every single one of them would love a free coffee or a free matcha. And I will die on this hill, find me one that says no to either one of those, and I guess I'll back off. And you can take full advantage of this love for caffeine and make this your $6 secret weapon. So here's what you do. Find the engineering manager or the tech lead of whatever company that you're hoping to work for, whatever team that you want to be on, and cold DM them. Hey, I would love to buy you a virtual coffee. Here's the $6 right now. Would just love to chat for, I don't know, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes. And you will get rejected. Some folks may even take your $6 and buy the coffee and never talk to you. That's okay, because you need to look at this as sending in an investment on your future self. Because think about it, I run development teams on a daily basis. I am always looking for engineers who are showing me a genuine interest and honestly putting in a little extra effort. Not a lot, maybe 10% of extra effort that shows that you want to work on my team, or you want to work on the project we're doing, or you're really invested in this customer. There is a mutual benefit between the two of us, and you just need to show it to me. So if you go and find these engineering managers, you have the opportunity to, one, just expand your network, give them the $6 coffee, have a conversation with them, and learn about what problems they have, what tools that they need people to become micro-niched experts in. And that is your way in the front door. You see, research has shown us roughly 44% of hires are from internal referrals. And put yourself in the business perspective. Think about it this way. If it costs a business, I don't know, $100,000 to post a job, to interview tons and tons of candidates, to weed out the thousands of applications they're getting these days, especially now that bots are submitting applications, or they can pay a current employee to vouch for somebody and give them a $2,000 referral bonus. Which would you do as a business? Would you trust your current employees who understand and know the intricacies of your business and know exactly the problems you're facing? Or are you gonna go through tens of thousands of interviews and tens of thousands of resumes? You see, you need to be creative in 2025. You need to find unique ways on how to build this network and get into the front door. And quite honestly, to be totally blunt, you need to find an internal referral. That is going to be the most successful way that you can survive this crazy, insane market if you are on the job hunt side of this thing. And this approach is like being a consultant selling solutions. You are cold DMing, but the solution that you're selling is you. And I think if you want to truly thrive in this insane world, this is going to be the ultimate cheat code. So don't be afraid. Set aside a small budget to buy some silly coffees and have some virtual meetings. Ideally, go meet people in person and show them that you're truly interested and want to help solve the problem. And I guarantee you, if you try to do some of these things, your life will change for the better. My final tip is something that no engineers do well, including myself. And that is to rephrase my entire resume, my entire narrative around business impact. I'm a firm believer that it is no longer enough just to be technically sound. It's really great when you are a technical SME and you can provide architectures and implement code and do all of those things. But so can everybody else. And so can ChatGPT. And so can all of these new LLMs that come out every single day. And I think some of the brutal truth in 2025 is that we're no longer just getting hired for our technical abilities. Businesses are hiring engineers to solve their problems, and it just happens to use code to solve them. So let me walk you through a real example on how you may rephrase some of your narrative. Instead of saying, I built a React app that's using Redux and GraphQL, you now need to say, I reduced customer acquisition costs by 32% by rebuilding our onboarding flow where it was dropping users before, and now it's not. And pro tip, if you can hit up a boss and quantify how much of an impact that you made, we're saving $50,000 a quarter, or now we're making an extra $100,000, or now we've reduced the churn by 10%. All of those things are huge on resumes in 2025. And I think the key thing here is this approach changes you from being an expense to instead now being a powerful investment for the company. They want to give you money. They want to give you that promotion. They want to hire you because you made it feel like you were an investment where you're going to give them the ROI that they're honestly hiring you for anyways. And I get it, as a developer, this conversation is hard. We don't generally think in business perspectives. Maybe if you're running a side gig or you're an entrepreneur, but if you're just working a corporate 9-to-5, you know code, you know Java, you know Rails, you know React, you know all of those things. And you're like, cool, dude, that's my manager's job. That's my boss's job. I don't touch numbers. I don't touch staff. I don't touch anything related to the business. And this is where you have a crazy, amazing opportunity on your one-on-one. I know a lot of us are sitting in one-on-one saying, I don't know, dude, I don't know what to talk about. What do I do? What do I say? Well, here's what you can do. In your next one-on-one, I encourage you to bring your resume with all of your technical achievements listed out in your bullet points and talk to your boss, who is probably in program management of some kind, and ask them, hey, how can I change or rephrase these bullet points into something quantifiable for the business? How can I make my technical achievements into business achievements so that I could better stack my resume against all of the other people who have the exact same technical achievements? If you want to survive in this insane market right now, you need to be an outlier and you need to stand out. And you saying, look what I made, I'm great at architecture, or I have all of these certificates, congratulations. So does everybody else. What makes you different? What makes you unique? And I think this is a great opportunity to stand out and be unique in the crowd. So in your next one-on-one, I really encourage you, bring your resume, talk shop, talk business, and get uncomfortable and ask a whole lot of questions. And if you do this, I am guarantee you that you will be much, much more successful now, but also in the world to come in this insane market. So if you resonated with any of this, drop a comment down below. Let me know. Would love to hear from you all. And what are you doing to survive in this market? It is all crazy. We all have unique strategies, and I'm eager to hear more. So let me know. And with that, I will see you all next week. Peace.